Good evening, folks. Today is a very special moment for us here today. Ngana Murugo, Ginabudungari. And I'm saying that we're going to work together as a community. No matter where you come from, whatever you are, but we want to do this together. So, as I said at a meeting, it makes this old man a very proud man today for this event to start to happen in the next year, that we're going to be teaching our language, our children, right across the board, to read and write our Kuku Yalanji language. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evenings, folks.
Thanks for coming. A momentous occasion in our school life, but I think it's a momentous occasion for our community. Bringing two worlds together and mapping out a future for our Bummer kids is gold. I just heard something the other day that there's 370,000 people attending Mossman Gorge, visitors coming, and they've outstripped visitors going to Ayers Rock. So that just says something about the unique location that we live in, and the culture and the stuff that actually breeds out of the Kuku Yalanji land. And I think the Kuku Yalanji land is waiting for our kids to be running through the forest, fishing down the creek, swimming in the creeks and speaking language. And that's what it's been calling out for. And now's an opportunity, and our school is so humbled and proud that the 5 nations have actually given us a little bit of trust, a little bit of saying, hey, we trust you. I need to apologise up front, and I'm not doing this for EQ, I'm doing this for Mossman State School and for me personally. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we actually asked you in a previous policy to not speak your language at school. But what we do have a say in is what it's going to look like, sound like, feel like in the future. And we want you to be part of that. You need to be telling us how you want to do Yalanji business here at school. And we're going to be listening. We want to be part of that journey. And I just want to hear those kids in the forest, running through the forest, fishing down their heads, swimming in the creeks, talking Yalanji. That is gold. That's the future. Have a good night tonight. We're cranking it up. Got the Walker boys and crew, so they'll be gold. Have a good night.
You're a mama, don't be shy. And you're going to turn out. I'm talking language here now today.
We have a little committee, it's called the Kuku Yalanji Language Advisory Group. Randall and the people of Mossman State Primary School have been so important to the whole project. Now, if we're going to build a future together, a future of mutual respect, let's cast aside the past. Let's move together with the future, and I think this is what we're doing, is moving together into the future and bringing back the old languages, and so that our children and our children's children, doesn't matter black or white, as Michael Jackson used to sing, doesn't matter whether you're black or white, they can sit together and speak Kuku Yalanji here in Mossman. Kuku Yalanji means the language of the people of this place. It's the language of this place.
There's no other strength I need. There's no other strength I need.
I acknowledge our Kuku Yalanji Bama of this Bobo, where we come together to learn and to celebrate Kuku Bama. I pay my respects to our elders, past, present, and future. Now give yourselves a big round of applause. Deadly work.
So welcome to Adelaide Chronicles. In keeping with the times and also in keeping with the fact that you're a long way away from where I am, we're doing this interview mobile to mobile, and that does have some impact on the quality of sound, but it won't have any impact on what's being said. So would you like to just give a little bit of an introduction of yourself and where you live and why you live there?
Sure. Well, my name is John Hartley. I'm a Gubriwala Yalanji man. I live up in far north Queensland in my grandmother's country of Mossman. I actually live at a place we call Kuku, and I live there with my mother, who I'm also a carer for.
What does that name mean?
Guyu means place of many fish. So I live right on the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds gorgeous.
Well, there's plenty of fish, but there's also plenty of crocodiles too.
Oh, that sounds not so gorgeous. But language is a really important thing, isn't it? And it's interesting to start this conversation that way, because we did a little bit of a recording some time ago on the importance of language, and we talked to quite a few people, and you more or less led that conversation, John.
Well, for Aboriginal people anyway in this country, language is vitally important. You know, it contains not only a way of life, but our way of being, our way of expressing and interpreting who we are and where we are. So it's vitally important, you know, and I think language, of course, was one of the first things to be, that was attempted to be eradicated, you know. Up here in my mother's country, people weren't allowed to talk their own language, you know, under threat, you know, of being sent away and of violence, you know. Language wasn't permitted, you know, and it had to be spoken quietly in the night, you know, around the table for the language to continue, because our language, while it's severely under threat, it still survived, you know, the attempted decimation of our people, the Yalanji people, you know. Yeah. So language is vitally important. I think because we get stuck in a colonised way of thinking, you know.
Yeah.
The language gives us another way of relating to our country and each other and ourselves, for that matter.
It's one of the worst tools of colonisation.
Oh yes, well, it's certainly the effect of colonisation. I mean, other than mass murder, of course. But yes, when people were picked up and taken away, speaking their full language, and placed into dormitory, religious internment camps, then English became the dominant language, you know. Yeah.
And was it an act of resistance, the people still speaking language to each other at night?
Well, I don't know that it was consciously that, but certainly, I would see it as that, you know. Not only, well, yes, I guess it is, because it was it took courage and somewhat defiance to do that, you know, to go the orders of the mission, the mission heads and the authorities, I mean, because it was no small thing, under the threat of having your child taken away from you, So, yes, you would say it was an act of resistance, an act of courage by our elders who always held, to their language, because the language, of course, is a natural thing, before the English word come into our communities and societies. So, but yes, it was obviously seen as very important to some of our elders to ensure that the language continued, because without the language, it's very hard to know who you are and how to relate to your country,
Yeah. So I saw a bit on ABC TV about kids learning language in schools up where you live, and I know that you've been really passionate about that for some years, and having been part of a whole movement that achieved this is amazing. It's such a good thing.
Well, yes, and my role was very, very small. It's been the participation of our elders and the fire of the younger generation that actually has seen our language now being introduced, not in the school as an elected subject, but actually embedded within the curriculum of the school, and that came about through developing relationships with the school and various teachers within the school, and importantly having the structures, correct structures put in place. That is, that the elders had the overarching authority in regards to language, its uses, its spelling, its pronunciation, and all the rest of it. And I think we've been the Kuku Yalanji Language Advisory Group has been going for just over 2 years now, and in that 2 years, several awards actually. So, and some, both state and local awards. So that's pretty good, because it doesn't matter of just being able to put the language in the school, but also our language, of course, contains values and beliefs, and a way of being in the world with unique worldviews, and it's all encased in our language, So, and that was grasped and taken on board by the school, and it's now being, as I said, embedded in the curriculum, and it's being taught to the younger generations currently, and that's having a great impact upon the well-being and the sense of self of all those children who are learning the language. And it's not only local Bama, meaning Aboriginal people, but it's also the non-Aboriginal people, children participating and learning our language, and to the point where the school has had parents inquiring about sending their children there, specifically because they do teach our language there, and they want their children to learn language. These are non-Aboriginal people, and that's a healthy thing, It's healthy. It's healthy for Bama. It's healthy for non-Aboriginal people. It's healthy for the community, Yeah, and the last 2 years has been, we have regular meetings at the school, but we're now centering the program back into the community. What I mean by that is that we've recently acquired a space where we can have an office and a place to teach language within the community for Bama, for the local Aboriginal people. So it can start to further expand and proliferate out into the community, And we think it's important that we centre our language back into community, because we want all our people speaking our language, So, but we were just commencing community classes, just before the virus struck, and so. But now, of course, that's on hold until the virus passes.
Yes. Are there young people there that are fluent in that language?
Well, I think more so north. There would be younger people that are somewhat fluent. Yeah. But there are a number of older people still fluent. The teachers at the school are fluent speakers,
Are they?
I think that's important. Well, they're Aboriginal people that are teaching it, Yeah, it's taught by local language speakers. So, it's they've maintained the language and they speak it daily, So
that's, I reckon, the best news story I've heard in 2020.
Really? Oh,
yes.
Well, I think it's. I don't think it's a surprise the importance that the Bama hold language in. I think we always knew that the impact it would have, particularly on our younger generations and children. But the impact that it's having across the community was not something that was expected. It's definitely having a very positive impact on those young school students. And remember, Sue, in my mother's day, she went to the same school. It was forbidden for her or any Bama to talk their language or speak their language in the school. Yeah. And so to see it being returned into that very same school, and not only returned but be embedded in the curriculum,
It is. It's just wonderful.
It's a good thing, I think.
And it's obviously taken a lot of work from a lot of people to pull that together.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, as I say, the elders, the younger people, and the school, the principal and the teachers, involved. It took a number of meetings and sitting down and talking, coming to an understanding, and a recognition of the past,
Yeah.
And an acknowledgement on the importance of our Kuku, or our language, a commitment to change, and I guess being able to listen to each other and respect each other is the foundation or the glue that brings it together. That's being able to work together. But the driving and the passion belongs. You have to have the elders there because the elders can see over the mountain.
Yes.
And you have to have the young people there because they've got this fire in their belly to walk the mountain. So and that's what we have, you know. So, and you're right. It takes a number of people that are committed to that, you know, and I'm passionately committed to ensuring their language goes on.
This is a way forward.
You know, we never. The language group never sought awards or things like that, or to be picked out. But I think because of that and the impact that it's had, as I said, not only on the school community, across cultures, but in the broader community as well, and that's been recognised, you know, through a number of awards, you know. And, yeah, so I guess people see that these things can be done, you know. Yeah.
A clip from the ABC that I can perhaps share as well.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, we've had a lot of interest from other schools and other communities, you know, tribes up around here, coming down to visit and looking at, visiting our meetings, but also visiting the classrooms and looking at the structures and how it's been presented, the methodology and how it's been imparted within the school environment. And there's also been apps you can download on your phone. First developed a book and an app as well that people can download in Google Yalanji, you know. So, and the school has developed, along with community members, an app that you can download on your phones, and you know.
That's pretty mainstream. I love it.
Well, you know, I think, and I don't know, but I wouldn't. I don't think I'm too far off the mark when I say that wherever there's a space for our language, we should fill it.
Yes.
You know, whether that's in a school, because of the severe threat. You know, if we're going to get our languages to a point of stability, then we should look at all avenues that will contribute towards that. You know, across media platforms, across embed them within the schools, and wherever we can, wherever there is a space for, our language, then we'll put it there. You know,
Yeah.
But you can't. I don't think you can have too many resources.
No, and you have to go with technology.
Well, they can be handy, but the idea of, they're handy if you're on a bus or you're waiting for a doctor. You can go through your app on your phone. You can be learning your language and that as you, in your everyday life. But I think the idea of centering our language back into community is that it's not just learned within four walls. You have to also be in country where the language has relevance. Where the trees are, the bush foods are, where their stories, the song lines are, and all those kinds of things. So I think that's the point. It's good to have it in schools, in the curriculum. It's good to have all the technology. Sitting in country, learning from your elders, and where the story places are, and what have you. I think that's the core of it. That's where we need to get to.
Yeah. Thank you so much, John. It's just wonderful. I can't think of another word to use. And when I saw that clip on that short bit on TV, well, it's heartwarming.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
it was really good. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the other video of when we actually launched the program, but if I find a copy or a link, I'll send you that as well.
Oh, do. Yes, please. Yeah.
That was quite good too, And I think that's important. You have to take the community along with you, eh?
Yeah, but also you can show other groups that this can be done.
Well, it can be done, and that's, I mean, you know, and I think the importance of the technology and the apps, you know, like I said, we were that week we were just about to launch our community-centred language program, but due to the virus and the restrictions of our movements, then we can still now, because of the technology, we still have those apps available, we still have the dictionaries available to us, and we still have a lot of the online stuff that we can access, so we can still continue to learn and take the opportunity perhaps to focus more so on learning our language until this virus passes, you know.
Exactly. That's something that people can do. Yeah,
Exactly.
and listening to this will be something that perhaps people can do while they're being isolated or distanced, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I must be a pretty sad person socially because I don't find any difference in my daily routine, you know. But I see it as more, I'm in retreat, so I'm focusing on things that, you know, because we live in a very sort of hustle and bustle world, we don't often get back to the things that are always important. So I'm looking at being in a retreat where I can really focus on you know, in my language, you know.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I'm making it a healthy period, you know. I don't look at it negatively.
I think that's really good advice, and it's sort of like medicine.
Well, yes, exactly so. And that's true, yeah.
Was there anything more that you wanted to add?
Just again, I guess to reiterate, you know, the importance, you know, your language. I mean, all languages the world over are important, of course, you know. But I think for our mobs here in this continent, our language plays a very central and vital role in the decolonisation process, you know.
Yeah.
That is getting back to our core values, beliefs and practices as, you know, Bama or First Nations people, you know, as human beings of this continent, you know. So I would encourage, and even if you only have, you know, 3 or 4 words currently, then that's enough to start you on your way, you know. And maybe if you can't find all your language, maybe your neighbouring clan or your neighbouring tribe may hold some of your language as well, you know. But I think once you start to learn your language, then the way we look at each other, the way we look at the earth, the way we relate to each other, the way we relate back to our Mother Earth is very, very important and encoded and embedded and held within our language, you know.
So, would you like to sign off from this interview?
Yeah, go water Yalanji. Ngayo kubli water Yalanji tinga jumanaju yo. So I'm just saying that my name is Yalanji. Kubli water Yalanji man. See you later, or see you again.
Lovely. We'll definitely see you again.
Yes.
No, that's really, really good. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sue.